This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Now you seem intoxicated with nectar, and also with nepenthe, like the gods of Homer, whereas a moment ago you were sad and careworn, as if you had just come out of the cave of Trophonius. Just as a new and youthful colour reappears everywhere when the sun first shows its beautiful golden face to the earth, or when spring breathes softly after a hard winter, so your faces changed at the sight of me. And thus, what great orators can hardly accomplish with long and elaborate speeches, namely the banishment of care, I have done with my appearance alone. Why I appear today in this unaccustomed dress you shall now hear, if you will listen to me attentively, not as you do to preachers, but as you do to salesmen, clowns, and jesters, as once our friend Midas listened to Pan. It pleases me for a little while to play the rhetorician among you. Not one of the kind who nowadays cram schoolboys with bothersome trifles and teach a more than womanish obstinacy in arguing. Rather, I imitate those of old, who, in order to avoid the reprehensible name of philosophers, preferred to be called sophists. Their concern was to celebrate, in eulogies, the virtues of men and gods. A eulogy, therefore, you shall hear, not of Hercules or Solon, but of myself, Folly. I have no use for those wise ones who assert that it is most foolish and insolent for a person to praise himself. Yet, if it is foolish, it is certainly in character, for what is more fitting than that Folly should be the trumpeter of her praises? She blows her own horn. Who can represent me better than I can? Unless, by chance, someone knows me better than I know myself. Moreover, I judge that I am no more shameless than certain of our leading citizens and scholars, who, with false modesty, corruptly employ flattering speakers and windy versifiers, from whom they hear their own praises, which are pure lies. The coy listener swells and spreads his plumes like a peacock, while the unprincipled flatterer compares this nobody to the gods, and nominates him as the perfect pattern of all virtues, or just the opposite of what the man knows himself to be. In this way, the crow is adorned with borrowed feathers, the Ethiopian is washed white, and the gnat is made into an elephant. Finally, I act on the well-known proverb which says that a person may properly praise himself if he finds no one else who will do it. Incidentally, I marvel at the ingratitude or the backwardness of men. They all studiously cultivate me and freely acknowledge my benefits, yet no one has ever celebrated Folly in a grateful oration. At the same time, there are many who labour all night composing praises of Busirisses, Palarises, quartan fevers, flies, baldness, and pests of that sort. From me you shall hear an extemporaneous and an unlaboured speech, but one that is thereby the truer. I would not have you think that I do this to show off my wit, as is done by common orators. They, as you know, present a speech that has been polished for 30 years, and may not even be their own, and then swear it was tossed off in 3 days for pleasure, or even dictated. Now I find it most natural just to start talking. And you need not expect me to discuss myself in the usual rhetorical manner by definition, much less by division. For it is as rash to define an influence which is boundless as it is to divide a religion in which all things become one. Besides, what is the point of drawing a shadowy picture of myself when you see me clearly in person? I am exactly what you see, the giver of all good things, in Latin called stultitia, and in Greek morea. Why should I speak when my appearance is unmistakable? Anyone who is unconvinced by speech, the least inaccurate reflection of the mind, and who argues that I am wisdom, can be refuted by a good look at me. I am not disguised. I do not mask my heart with a false face. I am so completely myself that I cannot be counterfeited, even by those who lay special claim to the title of learned, and who go about like apes in royal robes, or asses in lion skins.